Welcome back, everybody. We are coming back at what was a pretty tight game between both of these guys on train. And that was No Problems map pick that got stolen away by Apeks. So now the reverse thievery is being attempted here by No Problem, which, in fact, their name is actually quite alive. Like, they have problems.
They have a lot of problems here. That was their map pick. They let slip. They were in command. They had a 14-11 lead at one point. They let it slip away from them. Apeks, really impressive play to gut it out there to make it happen. They couldn't even close in regulation. They got to the 15-14, but they couldn't quite get there. They did it in overtime. That takes guts. That takes some serious energy, and I'm impressed by them, and I'm excited to see that now transfer to their own map pick here in Mirage. So no problem. They're going to get the choice side. They'll start with that CT side. It looks like it's probably going to be a split onto A. 3 players going through underpass, 2 out towards ramp. And a pick already found Marcelius. As, again, No Problem. Hyper aggressive on this CT side. They get punished for it. And look at Barry. Barry's pushed all the way back through connector. He didn't even check underpass. He just ran from B through con back onto this site, and he's now going to get flanked with no idea that there's someone coming from the side.
Yeah, what's actually really unusual by Apeks is usually when you spot that player going towards sandwich, it usually signifies that there is a triple stack towards the A site, and they're still going to commit to this. Into the crossfire they go. That's exactly what No Problem wanted. Now it's going favorably for them, and Marcelius is able to bring one back with a nice 50 shot, but it's still a 1 versus 2, and now it's a 1 versus 1.
God! Oh, such a disappointing end to what was looking like a nutty round from Marcelius. Gets shot in the back of the head, but still. As you were saying, that was a strange pistol round. You think after you have that much spot, since you have the bomb and underpass, you don't have to commit at all towards that A side. Even if you just throw a fake with those 2 players, you've already done the damage. You can just hit the B bomb site with 3 and probably have a pretty good chance of taking the round. But as it is, they don't even have the bomb plant off the back. They're going to have 1 deagle in this round. That's for Marcelius. That's his pride. In the previous, and he's already dead. He will not get to enjoy his prize.
All right, who's up next? They're just recycling the deagle. They're playing Gladiator with the deagle, Mike. And yep, easy cleanup. You know what's actually interesting about Mirage, Mike?
What's interesting about Mirage?
I feel like every time I watch it, every team has such a different playstyle on it. Like, it's very rare for me to see 2 teams play this map the same way in terms of their CT approaches, in terms of how they're approaching their offense, in terms of what they want to accomplish early in the middle of the round. It's always so different.
It is. There's definitely, like, different priorities between rosters, and I also find it's sort of regional, where a certain region will play. Like, you'll note that teams from one country or from one domestic team play it with a specific philosophy. And then when they encounter a team from a different region or a different, league, different something along those lines, it could be a very different game. That's just interesting. It definitely is. I agree with you.
Okay,
see what Ratifaction can do here.
I mean, Holtz already found the opening pick with the FAMAS long range. He's going to do the same. That smoke is so unfortunate. It might have actually prevented a death right there, but Barry will pay the consequences for that one. It's his smoke and his death.
Oh, I love this walkout from Ratifaction. There's 2 players here, actually. There's a chance for a lot of damage, but no, he's been spotted. Ooh. He gets checked. Somehow still wins that duel and the second as well. Ratifaction has now just completely secured a bomb site. They're going to rotate off it. He's got control here. They're sending the bomb. They've got control towards mid. They take this duel into the ramp and win it as well. So that leaves everything on the back of Holtz. He's got to do it all. He had the first pick. Well, now he needs 4. It's just spotted.
What's crazy is these are such elementary mistakes right now happening from No Problem that are costing them a butterfly effect of series of problems, right? Just you miss your smoke and pallets, your teammate gets killed as a result. You're all right. You don't win the duel. Marcelius turns on you, but why jump out market window? Why not just go out the market door where it's much safer? It feels like unnecessary almost in terms of risk value. Now it's going to be SMF looking to give them the op, but will be pushed back by the utility, so no early op pick for him this time around. But his teammates are they're fully forced up with deagles and armor. Like, all they got that hero.
Talk about that unnecessary risk. This is a very risky play indeed, and he's lost his life. Guess that op is retrievable. Holtz can get it, and he's apparently going to take the exact same peek. This time it works out a little better. Loses a lot of health in the process, but he will get the kill back. So, hey, there we go. But they'll continue to shift the op around. This time it goes to Barry, their traditional opper. Makes a lot of sense there. And he can shift about the map, moving on over towards B. But Apeks haven't committed to anything yet. They've got this mid control. They've got a player towards lower mid. You've got a Ratifaction working his way into Con just to see what he can do. See if he can't find a pick here as the smoke fades. And meanwhile, the rest of his team, they're grouping up in courtyard, but they could go either down the underpass to join their teammate, or they could hit B. Just depends on the... Look at Ratifaction. He's working his way through the jungle. He might actually catch Viggs here in rotation. Timing going to be brutal here. Does he check left? He does not in time. Viggs ready for it. What damage. That's huge. Now an AK retrievable, and they're not going to have any idea that Rawls is here because they're distracted by the op on site. Rawls might get the second. Truth clears it, but it doesn't matter. Rawls was waiting for that exact play, and he pulls the trigger at just the right moment. That's going to be a third round for no problem, and what a recovery off the back of the hero op and Deagles.
Okay, well, that certainly makes up for the mistakes in the last round. I feel like this round, them doing this reversals, it actually works out better for them in the long run. They got AKs and SG out of that one. They have the op now. They have full utility as well as the kits to follow up. And now Apeks is actually on the other end of the problem, which is the lack of money and a mediocre force buy. It's Deagles, or a single Deagle, Mac 10. The SMGs who are now making their way out along with the scout. Let's see how it works out for them, Mike.
Players falling. Bruce next to me suffering. The trade is there, but it's at such a heavy cost, and now the bomb's committed as well. There's two players here to watch as they come out of the apartments. Beautiful play from Barry there. And this should just be around under control. I say that, Truth, doing some damage. Not quite enough, but hey, at least he made it very expensive indeed for no problem. They will survive with 2 alive, and they'll presumably have another probably pistol armor around here out from Apeks to deal with.
Now it's full eco. This is actually a solid opportunity for Barry to get his money up. And he's... am I mistaken, or is he the primary opera now for his team? I don't think he was before. Oh!
Okay. No money for you, Barry. No cash whatsoever. Of course, a reinvestment, and there's a second Groose. This Deagle from him is so powerful. Has a third chance!
Ooh.
And they give it to him. Crouch peeking, or walking around, rather. Groose is just annihilating his opponent here. May not check sandwich. Holtz should terror, and indeed will. But so much damage done. SMF and Holtz trying to recover this, but they're completely committed to site. B is held. Ratifaction can get himself into market. The bomb can get planted here, presumably. There's a player in con. These rotations going to be so easily controlled. AK is getting back into the fight. Not going to be able to win that one, but Ratifaction does get a kill and a rifle. Bomb planted. This is already a successful round from Apeks. Now they're in a 2v1 where Holtz has to decide what he wants to do.
So Holtz actually faked... Well, I mean, he wanted the cat jump. But now it's a fake. He didn't make the cat jump. So this actually might have worked out in his favor. He just has to figure out if these players are positioned, which might be a tough task, especially with time ticking. He has a Molotov and nade. If he can somehow manage his way out, and if you can eliminate this bench player, this fight will be so much easier, but it all comes down to timing, and it will be Ratifaction. And what a round by Gruz, just single-handedly busting the doors open, opening up the options there for Apeks. And he was literally the only person in that round who could have done something about it, and he stepped up, Mike.
He's a stud. He's just a stud. That's just the kind of round that you can't quite account for. Yes, they did give him a lot of opportunities for one-on-one fights with Deagle, which maybe after the first kill, you get a little more cautious about that. But at the end of the day, he hit an incredible clip there, and that really does secure them around, and that offsets the paradigm here. We're going to see a force buy in, and the ops are already done. Not only is it done, it is probably unretrievable. They have some smokes. They could devote utility to just trying to get the AWP back. And actually, it was further back than I thought. Perspective tricked me a little bit, so Holtz does get it. And they've at least got the ops to work with here. But I think that's about all you can say in their favor.
Now, there is a contingency plan here, and that's Rawls. And I think he's hearing them fall off the B-apps, which I'm surprised not to see any sort of reaction come out here from SMF. I feel like they need some movement here. Luckily, they do have Viggs in Palace. He could be a key here as well. This 5-7. Oh, he just got spotted. Oh,
He
sure.
certainly did the spot. Yeah, he's been.
Yeah, it's really unlucky.
Secret agent, man. Didn't quite work out that round. like the idea. At least they now know. They've got the early warning system. They can get all their weapons here. It's just a question of whether the op can have the impact they need it to. He's found the first. Hole's looking for more, but he's getting run down now. It's only a matter of time. Yes, the trade will happen, but it's not enough. Rawls needs to get the heck out of Dodge. Bomb's going to be planted here. Rawls was thinking about trying to go to recover the op, but I think he's just going to go ahead and fade off, keep the FAMAS alive, give himself something to fight with in the next round. Oh, he's going back in.
Does he go for this?
Shouldn't. Doesn't mean he won't.
Nah, he's just looking for some sort of exit or some sort of consolation, but you know, he won't even find that. At least he gets to keep his weapon and the utility and the kit. That might be better served in this next round. However, Apeks have put themselves at 3 now, and the gap, what was a great start for no problem, has been slowly running out of steam. I wonder if there will be some sort of change in approach here for no problem at some point, right? There's a lot they still haven't really done that they could still apply. They can do these shawless takes in middle where they just go out with top mid smoke, go out with flashes, go out with the Molotovs, take control, leave some players left in middle. They haven't shown any propensity to take upper B control yet. And they haven't really done any of the forward A ramp plays as well. So there's still quite a bit of cards up no problem sleeves that could be utilized. Rawls gets flashed off the angle. The Molotov will come in just... Oh! He chokes it.
That's a problem now. Now they're rocking up. We've just got one player on stage. He's just got a pistol. There's nothing to do with that. SMF actually does get a kill, so respect, I suppose. But it's not going to ultimately matter in this round. And it's not really going to matter to Apeks either because they keep 4 alive. They are perfectly happy to do so. To claim another round to tie up this and to have a situation where this gun round's still not going to be very good for no problem. They won't have an op. They should have... Nope, no kits. I figured SMF would pick that up for the squad. So no kits. Retake's going to be very risky here. There's a bunch of utility, to be fair. But not ideal. They can't really duel with Marcelius properly because they don't have that AWP. Can't really contain. They're going to go for aggressive play into mid to try and compensate for this lack of an AWP to try and control the center of the map. But it seems like Apeks is content to let them have it. They're throwing a lot of util out on A. They're trying to fake this, drawing a ton of presence. And it looks like there's just a timer in their head. They're going to go for a hit.
That kill from Apeks really sells this fake, doesn't it? But luckily, SMF's heard it. He's trying to throw the Molotov, but unfortunately, SMF's teammate has been eliminated. It's all down to SMF now to hold it down, and he eliminates Gruz, and he's holding the offense back for now. And they still have options, though, Mike. They still have time. They could easily fall back and reroute here. And SMF attempts to peek, but he gets spotted. Truth, though, destroying Holtz, and Barry not able to respond back here.
I'm shocked that Barry didn't swing on that. I guess he was just a little too far around the corner to actually be able to do it. He was a little too tough to have the timing on it. But now you've got a really awkward situation where these two players, they're so isolated. They can't support each other in any way whatsoever. So this is probably a one and done, even if they do get that one kill. The players are grouping up, and the one kill won't happen. Truth has the kill. This is a save now for SMF. And it's a lead taken for Apeks. It's a lead taken, and money going to be not there. For the no problem side, they'll have to take at least one eco. I guess they could. I mean, they'll have loss bonus, right? They'll have a pretty expansive loss bonus, 2,900. They can maybe justify forcing around this, but they shouldn't. At least an upgrade to an M4. SMF, no one was too close to hunt, but he's sticking around. Truth might just get the better of him. Timing gonna be brutal here. SMF, which direction does he look? Truth, does he realize where the player's playing from? Wrapping around the X-ray, cueing us into the fact that this is about to be a disaster, but looking the wrong way as he rounds the corner. Truth tries to clear bench. So this should be SMF surviving.
Yeah, there really isn't that much money available for Apeks where they could just risk throwing their entire inventory at him either. Like, yeah, they still have a lot of money, but they're going to waste a lot to buy back into this round here. And I won't leave them with too much. However, no problem, though. They're starting to slip. They had a great start. It's looking a little flat. I'm not going to lie, Mike. They haven't shown any of the cards yet. They're just playing standard every round, and it's yet to work for them. And that's going to be the fast push out mid here. Oh, that nade stack. Mary just eats them. Oh, if that nade landed, that would have been death, but unfortunately, he doesn't survive this time around. But they are going up for the fast con, and it's not working out too well so far.
That kill stabilizes things a little bit, especially as the smoke blooms, but there's still a player in mid, and Marcelius loses his life. What on earth is this? It's a catastrophe. Akez is left to try and corral this. He's dropping a Molotov. He's low ratifaction, one bullet away from death. At least the bomb plant has gone in, and these mollies should prevent them from getting forward. Buys a bit of time, but here's going to be the boost up into window. Oh, the footstep made. If Apeks didn't know this was happening beforehand, he certainly does now. So the question, if the hard clear will just work? No, it certainly will not. SMF last alive. He's got two very low players, but he's shot in the back, and it won't matter what health there is if you can't get the shot on. So that will be the round corral. That got close. That got risky. But at the end of the day, Apeks come out on top, and with the money they've got in reserve, they're okay with that.
Yeah, and Apeks remains at the same amount of money they had in the last round, which is 26,000. That's how much they had after the buy last time, and they're still around that mark right now. But this time a buy for no problem. But I can't help but feel like they're going to need a few more rounds here on the CT side to make this next half comfortable for themselves. If Apeks get more than 8, 9 rounds on this T side, 10 rounds, it's going to be extremely tight for the amount of errors they can make on this T side with no problem. They have the opening pick. That's in the hands of SMF. And right now they're pretty comfortable in how they're positioned. Triple men towards the A site. They have a player in ladder who can hold the cat run up as well as the window boost. And of course the B anchor who is just spotting upper halls.
U2 getting thrown up. Getting a little more space to work with. Barry's still holding here with the advantage. A little risky, and he's going to get his head ripped off. What a peek there, and now advantage taken back. This gets awkward indeed. You've got Rawls to try and hold, but they're going to back off this. They've got a player pass. Cruz, I guess, just going to lurk this out as they reposition for the A hit, and Viggs tucked behind the default box. This is their only line of defense for the A bomb site. If he falters, if he falls with anything less than a 2K, this should be a save, and this should pretty much be the round done. Well, one Molotov could ruin his day. There are 2 available for this Apeks side. All they have to do is bounce 1 here under dark, and he is absolutely up the creek with no paddle. There's going to be shots out. He knows they're coming by, but he may not clear above him. That's 1 kill. They do not clear this position, but the trade is good. Viggs, though, and SMF have taken advantage of the timing, get back around, and they're doing a good job of playing around this to keep Marcelius at bay. The flashbang is strong, and the shot misses. So find it up. Rawls gets the better of him, and no problem. They survive. They steal that round away, and they get themselves back with a little bit of fun.
That looks so funny from our perspective. You see Rawls just completely blinding himself with that flashbang, trying to avert the other player from pushing him, but he just full sprays, full blind, lands the headshot somehow. All right, Rawls. All right. But now Apeks are looking to switch it up. They've done a lot of split plays. They've done a lot of slow pick base defaults. And this time they're looking for a bit of an explode out the B halls. Now the first wave of utility would be to bait SMF's hand, and the next would be to commit.
First pick found, second as well. The Molly's burning them below the window. They keep dropping into it, and they keep taking so much health damage. As a result, this is a catastrophe for Apeks. What has happened here? Now they'll finally start to get their own utility into play. They didn't have a lot of it. But what little they had is not really much in terms of results. Marcelius does get something, but the trade is back, and now it's all untruth. He's up in the window. He's about to get flashed and offed. No chance there. 6-6 is our tied scoreline here. A nice recovery from No Problem. You were talking about how this half was just about to get completely out of control. I think No Problem heard you. They heard how important this was, and they rallied.
What a time to do so as well. Before Apex's economy got set in stone, this time they're still pretty rough. Now, I'm not going to discount Apeks, considering how impactful Cruz has been with the Deagle. So I'm not going to discount Apeks here at all. This time they're going for the mid-swing once again. If it works out again, I'm tilted. 1-for-1 trade, not bad. Holt still has him lined up, no problems, no worries. Truth and Ratifaction, and 1-for-1 trade along with the fire for SMF. So no problem. A bit more casualties than they would have liked. However, they have regained the lead, 7-6.
What do we have here? What do we have here? AK's up again. A lot of utilities. They're going to go for a fast play. Blinded up. Viggs is doing so much damage, but he can't quite slip away to safety. He will be dropped, and now bodies are falling left, right, and center for this side. They've got everybody here. They're ready for this fight. The rotations are good. Now it's Rawls in a 1v2, and while he does a ton of damage, he can't quite line up the kills. So we will have a tied scoreline again as we come to the last round of the half. Who's going to take the dominant showing? Who's going to slip up right at the finish line? I would say, regardless of how this last round goes, this has been a phenomenal T-half from Apeks.
Yeah,
a little bit flip. 7 rounds. So strong.
Yeah, I think Mirage has been ending pretty... It's not what it used to be, right? At one point, this map was seriously CT-sided. But I think the meta has kind of swung this around, and I feel like 8-7s and 9-6s have been pretty common finishes for both sides. Now, this is the final round. Weapons are downgraded, and the kits are lacking, and so is the utility. And I think Gru's just bumped into Viggs in the smoke, and he might have an idea he's there.
Oh, nope. Clearly didn't. I think he just thought he walked into the wall. I'm not sure what was going on there, but it will be traded at least, so not a major catastrophe. Still technically an advantage for the T's. Not so much anymore, though, as Barry has reached out and touched somebody with that AWP. You're going to be able to fall off here. A plant will come through. Haze of smokes to secure it, and a flank. Love this position. Now they can wait for him to come through. You can wait for him to get up the ramp, and you can see from Marcelius' spot that they have no idea this could be happening. They're not watching for it at all. That's going to be a kill for free, and this is, you know, a very softened post-plant. Molly can go into secure sandwich, not even necessary. The kill comes in before it, and everything's going to be left to Truth. He's not really well positioned for this. Smokes are going to go down. They're going to be able to watch his position with the op, and he's got no utility to clear his path, so he's just got to peek it and hope to his death.
All right, no problem. They take the lead in the last second, 8-7. But I can't help but feel like they just played a much easier half than what this next half is going to be, considering this is Apex's map pick. And if this is your map pick, you have your CT setup downs, right? You have all the tricks and the little setups and strategies in mind that will get you leads here. And let's see what this pistol is going to be like, though, because I feel like this is going to set the tone quite well for the second half.
Smoke out for window initially. Looks like it's probably going to be a split on towards B. As they go rocking around. Make their way right on up. Viggs is actually going to hold connector to try and control rotations, and everybody else is out on towards B. Gruce is the first one to drop. Body's starting to fall here, and you need a bit of an answer here from Apeks to hold on. And that answer is not going to come quickly. It's not going to come at all. Ratifaction alone. Done. Dusted. Barry with the big 2K. And not even a frag found. No problem. Flawless in this pistol round. They secure it. They maintain their lead. They take that momentum heading into the second half.
Barry has been such a critical player for his team throughout the series so far, and he's keeping up his form in the second map. 9-7. Money is limited for Apeks. They are going to go for the second round force, and I agree with these force buys on this map specifically. I think that it's better to come with full weapons and ops in the fourth round than it is to buy a mediocrity for the third. Especially against SG's long range and AKs down in mid. Let's see if they can make their stand with Deagles. Oh! Okay, that's Truth eliminated. Thanks movement there from SMF.
Nearly got offered there. It looked like he didn't have a weapon in hand, but he switches back in time. A little shaky. But hey, if it works, it works. They're reading presence really well as well. That smoke fades. Marcelius had an opportunity, unable to capitalize. Now this is punishing. No one's really in position to deny this. Yes, you have a flank coming through the palace, but the bomb's going to be planted, and your teammates can only hold on so long before they get mowed down by his Mac 10s. An answer is here. And now it's all up to the palace player. Gruce and Ratifaction get it done. Couple of kills here. Now everything on the Ratifaction, and he can't quite make it work. 1v3, a bit too much of an ask. Another round for no problem. They've now secured that 3-round lead. We're not going to have a buy yet from Apeks. They'll go ahead for another eco.
And I think the only weapons they lost in that round, by the way, were Mac 10, so I don't think they're too upset by that.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's a full eco. It's just P250, a nade. That's it. That's okay damage. Ross Fonzie opening pick. That's Bruise eliminated. Ratifaction still in the smoke. That could be the X Factor play. Let's see if they're ready for this one. Alright, what you got for us? Ready? And nothing.
Oh, nothing. The other X Factor is that there's a Zeus in Palace, but nobody came to Palace to play with Truth. He's sad. He's sorrowful. And this is just about over. So the question is, how much, or what's the plan to try and take like one rifle away from this player top mid? It's going to work out. Marcelius getting it done with the USP. And now there's a rifle to play with. They're trying to toss that away. They've got to deal with the player underpass, and tossing it out of his hands, he's not going to be able to use the rifle. P250 won't quite get it done. So 4 players alive, no problem. Have no problems with that round. The cash is starting to build, starting to flow here in a major way. And now Apeks, they're going to get the rifles. They're going to have the AWP. They're going to have the utility they want. This is the round where they need to make their mark, where they need to stamp this half and say, this is our map. There's no way you're taking it from us. Let's end this. Where do they play the AWP? Window. Very traditional. Looking for that catwalk push. They might just get it. There's a smoke up to allow it. There's a transition over. Whack tag through smoke. Timing. Hate that. That doesn't tickle.
Yeah, look at this fast push. It's coming out from no problem. Utilizer, Mac 10s, but this setup right now from Apeks is and oh, but the hit does come in from Cat. That does find 1 pick, but they've lost 3 players for that single defender. Kez, but actually Rawls, that's a little bit better. That Molotov will either push it forward or back, and it will be forward, but he survives with 2 HP.
That's wild. Barry might pluck truth here, but even if he does, the whole presence is here from the CT side. This is so tough. He's got to pick his battles, and now he's revealed his spot. That's exactly what Truth was waiting for. He's going to try and bait out this peak with the plant. But he can't get the weapon out in time. It's just a little too swift here. And Truth, 2 HP or no, he will win the round for his team. And Apeks, we said they needed to do it here on their first buy. They do exactly. There's still going to be plenty of money for the T's, so they're not out of the woods yet. But they can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. They can feel a little more comfortable. They just have to keep this ball rolling.
I like Barry's thought there. I'm in a fake plan to get this guy to peek into me. As soon as he taps the bomb, the guy just swings him. Doesn't even give him a chance to swap his weapons back. That's a little unlucky. And now it's Apeks. Holding it back on the CT side so far. And they're still 3 rounds behind. And they've gotten the opening pick at least onto no problem. So things are going well in this round at least.
Indeed. A little bit of mid-control exerted, but you can see Truth is still working his way into the corner here by window. It can be a risky spot. There is a Molotov on SMF, but they may want to hold on to that since it's the only one they have for the site take proper. There's a player above him in the ladder room. This could get tricky indeed. He's out exposed. He should be dead. He's been spotted. And rolls. A little bit slow on that, but he does eventually find the kill. That's what matters. So now numbers evened up. A little bit of space gain. They've got control in towards window. They've got control of mid. They've got a player in courtyard as well who might be able to catch this aggression from Groose. He's taking control behind the smoke. Wants to go forward. This next duel could determine a lot in terms of what site is hit and how effective that hit is. As the smoke does fade and Groose will tuck himself onto the armchair. Just hang out and see if they'll come to him.
Nice shot. Again, long range with the M4 as well against the AKs. That's a 6 shot. That actually opens up the fight as well, and he wins his 1v1. And suddenly the defense is much stronger, especially with the upper control. And Cruz will swing out once again, eliminate holds, and that leaves Barry, the old guard, all by himself now. And he's not liking his odds, and he really doesn't have time for it either. So he will hold on to this SG, but the economy, it's in shambles. And Apeks, they're closing this gap quickly.
Silver lining for Barry is it's not going to be a double eco. He did have 2K in reserve, so even though he's not going to get loss bonus in this round, he'll have the Krieg in this, and they'll be able to eco 1 and get back into the buy. So it's not a huge catastrophe. It's not at least going to set them back more than 1 round. But, yeah, that's not a round you want to slip up. This is where you really let Apeks back into the game. You let them start to dictate it. Nade stack here. Presumably going to be towards window. That's usually where you see it. Marcelius is here. Got to watch out. That off. Better get the heck out of dodge. He only takes a bit of damage. Managed to slip away before the nades detonate. That was nearly so very deadly. That 1 rifle finds itself a pick. Finds a weakened A bomb site as well and might be able to do more as he continues to take ground. They've shifted. They've adjusted to being here and jumping through the air. He will give up that Krieg. Unretrievable now. This should now be an easy mop up for Apeks. That bait of the Krieg is just too juicy to pass up. It's all left to Rawls. Got 3 players to find, and they'll triple feed.
And that got pretty expensive too, but you know what? Not a big deal. They still have AK, they still have SG here for Kez and Gruz. And of course, the op for Marcelius. And they have money left over for purchases, so they have a safety net for now.
It's kind of interesting. One thing I noticed on the T side for Apeks is they really didn't buy very much. They wanted. I know there's a philosophy of keeping it out of the CT's hands because it's almost more powerful as a CT gun than it is as a T. But now that it's on the other side, they will be happy to take it. Marcellia, speaking of happy, very happy to take that pick. Nicely found, and this is beautiful. The double op just tearing them asunder. Both ops focused on towards A, and now the bomb drops, and Rawls being the only survivor.
Yeah, they just got destroyed by the double op setup right there. Garus to find the 5th. Apeks made that round look a little too easy, and that was a full gun round for no problem. Almost looking like an eco out here with how easy it looked for Apeks. And I'm gonna predict that if no problem can't figure out how to solve this double op setup here for Apeks, I'm sensing this might not end too hot.
May not at all. The Eagles in this round gonna be tricky to find many solutions to their problems in this round whatsoever. They've got some utility though to try and condense some angles, get towards sight. And interestingly, despite having the op, despite having the double op, it's a very passive hold towards mid for Apeks. In fact, it's pretty much a strong B side hold. I think they may have been anticipating this B rush, and indeed that's what happens. It's just a rush up catwalk instead. Truth gets 2, a 3rd as well. Truth making it work. A 4K for Truth. Beautifully done to keep his opper alive, to keep the position secured, to win the round.
We're back on the bye. No problems. They're really starting to lose my faith here. The CT side for Apeks is looking incredibly strong. And I shouldn't say that I'm losing faith in no problem. I should more so say that I'm gaining confidence in Apeks' CT side, which has actually been pretty impressive. And this is a bit of a difference, right? They're actually going for the aggressive plays. They're going for the forward control. And Akaz catches 1 and plucks Biggs out of the air for the 2nd. And Marcellius with the op finds himself a 2nd pick. This guy has been a beast with that op so far in this game. And he continues to do so. Truth to close off the round. And Apeks once again making these gun rounds look easy.
Look at the money too. They kept 5 alive the last 2 rounds. The round before that, they kept 4 alive. This money is absurd. They've got multiple players above 10K after full investment into utility. They've all got upgraded pistols to boot. I mean, they are in the luxury buy territory. And no problem. Meanwhile, going to be back on the pistols for another one. See if this will be a bit more effective. They've chosen to hard hit the other site instead. Smoke's going to be thrown over, but that's a great Molotov to slow them down. Now they're out through the flames. Berries burning. Bodies dropping. It's getting expensive. Rawls will get 1. Truth not able to defend his opera this time around as they did towards different sites. And Viggs, okay. Now we got to ask some questions. Can the bomb transition? Can they get the plant up? Will the mollies still deny the numbers being punched in? Is Akez going to kill everybody from Ticket Booth? Apparently not. Viggs gets the answer. Now this is very dangerous indeed. We're not just talking about getting a bomb plant. We're talking about winning the round.
Whew. What a set and A for that default plant position. It's actually insane. And by default being triple, but Viggs holding it from behind. Triple boxes. The flashes are a little much. He comes through the smoke, catches Ratifaction, able to reset for the 2nd one, but it's all down to Cruz, but he can't quite land it, and Viggs, he saves them. He saves his team from that round. The 4 kills in hand. The eco round win for no problem, and Apeks have just dropped the ball on that one. And it's, wow. Man, the amount of eco losses this past few days, Mike, it's too much for me. My heart, I can't take this.
What is this response from Apeks? 2 ops wasn't enough. 3 ops. Here's the answer. It is going to allow Marcellius to get really aggressive here in connector. He's looking for this aggro P. The flashbang not so great. Timing shot not hit. He's giving his information away a little bit. And they've softened up the B bomb site. Might want to send a rotator over there to support, although they are for the time being just trusting Bruce to lock this down. With 1,000,000 ops, it shouldn't be too hard to hold. But the adjustment's going to come. They're regrouping. They're sending players in towards mid, presumably for a split onto A. And that could be a bit tough. One of the few rifles he was blinded up in the connector. Truth could be a linchpin. A retake, always difficult with 1,000,000 ops. He's going to get 1. He managed to slip away from the 2nd as well. Continues to wrap around. Gets a 2nd kill. Truth playing so well from this connector position. Making it a clinic right now. And his teammates are going to have to push in, or his opponents rather, are going to have to push in without any support from that mid spot, and they're continuing to lose bodies. Truth with his 3rd kill in the round, and a critical one at that. Leaves everything onto SMF and Rawls to try and get this bomb planted, to try and get something going here, with 1,000,000 ops looking their direction. And a missed opportunity for Marcellius there. A little bit of an odd peek. but he didn't hit that shot. But his teammates are there. There's more than enough crosshairs to support to watch this direction to take these fights. What a play from Truth that round. What a play.
Yeah, this is... I'm trying to figure out why it seems like No Problem has better chances with pistols than they do with gun rounds in the second half. Yeah, the only thing that's coming to mind is they're more willing to make confident intuition-based plays when they have decals and nothing to lose versus these weapons. I mean, just the basic A execute works so much better than any of these complex strats that No Problem is trying to implement right now. And against this triple op setup, maybe they should just stick to the basics. Just smoke off the site, rain flashes in from above, deny the opper's ability to fight back. Let's see how it works out for them the second time around.
Well, here we go. Here's the hit. Here's the adjustment. The adjustment for the Truth is here. And Truth's ready to do damage. And once again, he gets a multi-frag. It's all just onto Barry, who does have a rifle to work with. And as a result, has actually found a bit of damage. He gets the third as well. Barry making it happen. 3 kills. 2 kills for Barry, 3 kills for his team in the round, and now a 1v2 against 2 ops. But one's working behind him. They're ready for him. They're going to check it, and Groose will secure map point for Apeks, 15-12. Now they've got 3 attempts to see this through, and they've got plenty of money with which to do it.
Yeah, that's not even map point, it's match point. They're there.
Right?
They're at the finish line. 3 rounds to go. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of safety net. They can sustain purchases even if they make errors here. So they're in a great win condition at the moment. And not only that, but No Problem's economy is not quite where they would have liked it to be. Lacking utility. Weapons available, yes. But once they take the control, they're going to be really thin on utility. And they've already lost hold. So this is not ending well whatsoever right now for No Problem. They've definitely got problems, Mike. That's for sure.
So many problems. No lack of problems might be their new team name. Oh, terrible jokes. Ratifaction gonna add to their list of problems already. He's picking up a second with the AWP. There's this presence coming out of underpass, trying to get back through connector, but there's heavy hold here. And you can see it just waiting for them is Truth. And Truth has been so on point these last few rounds. I can't imagine they get through this without losing at least 1 player. And so they're gonna re-estimate. They're gonna back off. But look, okay, so the forward position from Viggs is good here, but look at the hold from Apeks. Groose should have this. Akez is trying to jump spot it. Groose doesn't expect it, though. Walks forward, gives up a kill unnecessarily. Problem is, his teammates for Viggs are all dead. Now it needs the ace. It needs the full ace to keep them alive. Viggs on 5 HP, trying to survive. Bullets headed his way. It's Marcelius with a pistol to finish it all off. 16-12. Apeks survive. They get the kill. They get the game. They get the series. They will advance here in the playoffs of Winners League, and they have sent their opponents no problems skittering on home.
No problems, but also no solutions, Mike. They're unfortunately eliminated from Winners League. And that was quite a performance from Apeks. I'm really liking what they're bringing to the table. The Norwegian squad really showed up here. And I'm excited to see them advance in playoffs and show us what they got against the better teams who have also advanced to the second round of playoffs. But that concludes our EU matches for the evening. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed. Before we leave, please do follow our socials. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're all there. Follow us out. We'll be doing some giveaways for skins. We'll be doing some giveaways for 1 terabyte SSDs for your computer needs. And of course, follow this beautiful man. His ad's down here below. Mine's down here as well. And follow our producer and observer, Melanie. She does an amazing job behind the scenes, so credit to her as well. And for now, we are out. We'll see you in about 5 hours for the NA division. It will be Singularity fielding a pretty interesting roster, Mike, I must admit. And they're up against Rap Gang, a team that's been kind of on the low-key come up, and they're going to show us what they got here in 5 hours. We'll see you then.